here we don't actually really have seasons. We just have cooler weather and hotter weather. I love the hot weather because that is the time we have mango season. Hey. And I also get to wear my short shorts and my mini skirts. I also love the colder season because it's the time I get to wear my cozy knits, my thigh-high boots, and fashion aside, we also get to indulge in the comfiest, coziest, most comforting meals. I love my soups, and today we're going to make another one to add to the already large catalog that's already on the blog. And for today, we're going to make my Kitunguu Matawi and white wine creamy mushroom soup. Sounds amazing. This is going to be spectacular. Very speedy to make and guaranteed explosive flavor. If you're yet to subscribe, please do. And if you already have, asante sana. But everyone who's watching, thank you for being here. Let's get started. Karibuni sana. My sufuria already has some molten butter and a tiny bit of salt. And for the first ingredients I chose to start this with, I chose to go with some dania stems and some Kitunguu Matawi. Kitunguu Matawi is the street term for spring onion. You can find them at any mama mboga for about 5 shillings, so you have no excuse at all. But if you want to use red onion, totally fine. But I opted for spring onion because it has a much more mellow, much more herby taste, and I felt like for the ingredients and flavor profile I was going for this particular soup, spring onion was perfect. Don't forget, dania stems are a key ingredient if you want to elevate the flavor for anything. All savory dishes, do not throw them in the trash. They really add a lot of flavor, and for me, for this soup, they had to be there. Now we're going to go in with the ingredients before the butter burns, and then we proceed with the cooking process. Now that my base ingredients have cooked down to perfection and my kitchen is super fragrant as it should be, now I'm going to go in with the 2 other herbs I'm going to add. And for that, I'm going to use some thyme, some oregano, and then for seasoning, some white pepper. Thyme and oregano go so well together, and I love them for non-meat dishes, but those that are still savory nonetheless. Thyme goes with nearly everything, and for this soup, it had to be included. Both thyme and oregano are available in our local supermarkets. The cheapest pack retails for about 44 shillings, but if you want to purchase the big one, it's about 120 shillings. And both herbs, when we speak about their health benefits, they're both excellent antioxidants, and they also help in keeping things like cancer at bay. So please, musiogope spices. You know what? I'm going to sing this song until the end of time. Mtaboeka na mimi, but you know what? I'll keep saying and saying and saying, do not fear your spices. I also chose to use white pepper for this particular soup because I don't want the tiny black speckles of black pepper to, I just don't want the black speckles of black pepper. But if you have black pepper, you're more than free to use it. So we're going to let this simmer for a while, and then we're going to go in with the next ingredient, and that is my double cream. My double cream mixture has been simmering for about 4 minutes now. I gave it a tiny taste, and I thought that it needed another additional ingredient just to tie everything together, and that I felt was garlic powder. That will be included in the recipe on the blog. I know it wasn't part of my initial vision, but upon tasting, garlic powder is the missing ingredient, and now I've added it. You see, the cooking process is not that linear. The recipe development process is never linear. You build flavors as you go along. But for you guys, I will put a final, well formulated, solid recipe on the blog. So musiogope. And when I say double cream, I'm referring to milk that has 45% butter fat. You will find double cream in any well-stocked supermarket. So don't forget, any ingredient I use, you will find in any well-stocked supermarket. Double cream or heavy cream, you're going to find it in the dairy section of any well-stocked supermarket. So please, musiogope, anything I use is in our supermarkets. As this continues to simmer, let's talk about the star ingredient of this dish, and that is my dry white wine. You can use red wine as well, but I feel white wine combines the flavors of this dish a bit better. Dry white wine, please, aki guys, hata napata headache thinking about it. Do not, and I repeat, do not, and I repeat, do not use those Ribena flavored wines. Do not use a sweet white wine. Do not use a sweet red wine. Do not ruin this recipe with a sweet white wine. If I haven't emphasized that enough, DM me, I will tell you again. Do not use a sweet wine for this recipe. A dry white wine. Brand does not really matter. All you have to make sure is you're using a dry white wine. Today I'm using a Sauvignon Blanc, but you can also use a Pinot Blanc. Any dry white wine, really. Brand doesn't matter, price does not matter. Go for a Sauvignon Blanc because that's what I'm using today. Please guys, aki, for real napata stress, do not use those Ribena flavored wines. Sweet wines belong in the trash. Fight me. Another component I really appreciate for using a dry white wine for a soup as rich as this one is because the dryness of the wine cuts through the richness of the cream, and it also allows the flavor of the dairy to really blossom and ties together the herbiness of this soup. A dry white wine really elevates the flavor of this soup. Must have for this soup. I also have to say, I'm only using a third of a cup of dry white wine. There's no way in heaven, hell, earth, or whichever other realm that you're going to get drunk on a third of a cup of dry white wine. Also remember, when you cook with wine, the alcohol evaporates, leaving behind the flavor component, which is what we want to derive and tie into the recipe. We don't cook with wine to get drunk. We cook with wine or any other alcohol to derive the rich flavor components that beverage has. So if anyone tells you, oh, I drank soup that has wine and I'm drunk, punch them in the eyes because they're lying and delete them from your life, because that's a liar. That's a liar. There's no way you're going to get drunk. The alcohol will cook off, and what we want is the flavor derivative. So for this, we're going to get the dry notes of a tart grape, which will combine into this soup. You will not get drunk, friends and family. You will not get drunk. It's a third of a cup. Higher. Anyway, that was so impassioned, but I had to really emphasize. Now let's get cooking. We're now going to transfer our sufuria to the back burner so that it simmers on low heat and for the flavors to combine and the alcohol to cook off. So for the final step and what will form the body of our soup is the mushrooms. I love mushrooms so much, and for this soup I just had to include them. When I was shopping, I initially intended to use only button mushrooms, but as I was shopping I saw cremini mushrooms and I was like, you know what, for this soup we're going to use two types of mushrooms. As you can see, mine are already prepped and ready to go, and I just have to say cremini mushrooms are like baby portobello mushrooms. Like when cremini mushrooms the cup expands and it matures, that's when you get portobello mushrooms. So cremini mushrooms are baby portobello mushrooms, but you benefit from the same meatiness and nice active flavor that portobello mushrooms also has. You can use one kind of mushrooms, but I really want you to use 2 kinds of mushrooms as I'm going to. Guy, why am I stuttering? Anyway, mushrooms available in any well-stocked supermarket as well. A prunette goes for about 180 shillings depending on the season. It could be higher or lower, but just go and check and see. Mushrooms, not only are they super delicious, but they also give your body anti-cancer properties, antioxidants, help regulate blood pressure, help make sure your bladder is in good health, etc. Just look up online and you will see ni tamu sana na muhimu sana for your body. My pan is now hot enough. So what you're going to do next is just to sear our mushrooms until they're nice and brown, and then we're going to add some cumin, only cumin because the soup already has a lot of rich flavors, so the mushrooms will only have cumin flavor. And then we're going to mix some of them in the soup, then garnish the soup with some mushrooms as well, and then we are done. Rahisi sana, si ndio? Tuendelee. There we have it, another amazingly fragrant soup that we've added to our soup collection. This smells like paradise. It looks amazing, and you know what? Mukinaona kuna kijiko mkononi, I have to give this a taste. So let's go in and see what it's all about. Oh my god. You know the first notes that hit my tongue? The white wine notes. I didn't expect it to be so assertive and so bold, but you know what? I am not complaining. It ties into the dairy really well. Cuts through the richness of the herbs too. The meatiness of the mushroom gives this a much needed body, and you know what? It looks like it's about to rain, so I'm going to grab my baguette and go deep into this rich soup and enjoy this until I just burst like with all delicious things from my stomach. You know what? I'm ready for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please guys, I hope you try out this soup. Take pics and tag me on any social media platform. I hope you enjoyed this watch and see you on my next video. Thank you so much for being here. Bye guys.